get deep in the weeds, we got to call in a professional.
Yep.
We got to call in a professional. We got our very own resident sports shop attorney, the one and only Gregory R. Williams, GRW Law. What up? What up, G?
May it please the court.
It definitely pleases some courts in New York. I can tell you that.
I'll tell you that for real.
Man, we just finished up the last hour. We just getting into the live tour. Outside of the obvious, the players, the surprise of it, and all of that stuff, we just talked about all that. Well, let's get down to the nitty gritty. What does this look like? Because this is officially now one of the largest sports entities that we have in this country is owned and operated by a foreign entity.
Yeah.
Now, some people probably looking at me sideways. Come on, that ain't the first time that's done happen. You know, a lot of companies sold out. A lot of corporations sell out. A lot of things are owned by, Chinese companies, Swedish companies. What's the big deal? What's the big deal, G?
Well, we don't know yet.
Okay.
Which is the scary thing.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know where this is going to go. Again, you have a foreign entity that controls a tour, a major sports league, an American sports league.
Yep.
Okay.
And their affiliations that the PIF and the Saudi government have that don't necessarily align with American ideals.
All right.
There could be retribution and with people that have clashed with the Saudis publicly or behind closed doors.
Ooh.
We literally don't know what's going to happen. And one of the details of this proposed merger is the PIF is the sole investor of this to be formed entity, which will comprise the PGA Tour, the DP Tour, and LIV all into a new entity.
Sole investor,
and they have the first right of refusal and the right to reject any new investors.
Oh.
So they control all the money.
Oh, I thought this was this was a merger. That's not a merger.
So
that's a takeover.
Yeah, essentially.
That's not a merger.
PGA,
Reason we've been tricked. Yeah. This is not a merger. I'm not feeling merger here.
Right.
This not sounding like a merger. Is this legally? Is this a merger?
I think we need to go back and just watch Succession.
Pretty much.
Yeah, let's watch this again.
Mergers and takeovers.
Yeah, no, seriously.
But now the tour does retain
right
control of golf operations, sanctioning of events.
So I get to do the work.
Right.
Do
player
they?
Eligibility.
Wait, let me ask you. Do they control it?
Well, on paper, they control the between the ropes golf stuff.
Hold on.
They have the majority of seats on the board.
Yeah, all right, let's start with the basics.
LIV
because this is
has the money.
Okay,
this is real basic.
Let's do this.
Let's start with the basics.
Let's do this. And I'm with K-Mac.
Let's start with the basics. Is this a merger between the PGA Tour and the LIV Tour, or is this a buyout of the PGA Tour by the LIV Tour and basically them retaining the assets of the PGA Tour operating under this newly formed umbrella?
Depends on who you ask.
Okay.
Right.
LIV guys will claim that it's a buyout takeover of the PGA Tour.
Yeah,
PGA Tour people will try to spin it as we maintain our identity as a PGA Tour. We control golf-related stuff, but we made a partnership. We took their money and we took a competitor off the board.
This is a mess.
But it remains to be seen how it's going to actually function because the tours are going to have the majority of seats on the board. But again,
they got the
controls
money.
all commercial aspects of golf going forward. So it's going to be interesting to see how that dynamic plays out where you have the votes, but they have the money. Aren't the votes going to be beholden to the money at some point?
The money
at every point.
the money always gonna win. We know this.
Money wins,
right?
And it again. We
Let
said
me
this
read through
came
his
out of
statement
nowhere
again because this statement sure didn't say that. Let me go back to this statement. You go ahead. You keep going.
But again, we're talking. I guess Gregory R. Williams, GRW Law, and again, we're trying to unpack all the ramifications associated with the merger that was announced yesterday between the PGA and the LIV Tour.
Yeah.
And again, I asked a question last segment. So you mentioned the PIF. What is that?
So that's the Public Investment Fund. It's essentially what the Saudis do with all their oil money.
Oh wow!
So it's been in existence for, I think, since I don't know exactly when it came.
Okay,
but
okay.
It's been 40, 50 years.
Okay.
There's rumored to be north of $600 billion of assets.
Yeah, that
sounds about right.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
The Saudis aren't running out of oil, and they're not running out of money.
Right.
So they'll be around for a while. And again, we keep saying that this kind of came out of nowhere, and everybody was blindsided. We know that the Memorial Tournament, Jack Nicklaus's tournament, was on this past weekend, or took place this past weekend. They literally asked Jack about LIV guys.
Yeah.
And he said, I don't consider them a part of the game.
Well,
he said this Sunday. Lo and behold, out of nowhere,
72 hours.
Yeah.
Monahan and Al Roukmanian do a joint appearance on CNBC yesterday stating that they've joined forces. And these conversations have been in the works for apparently about 7 weeks behind the scenes. So it's not like this happened this weekend.
Wow.
4 in-person meetings. There was golf and lunch in London.
Wow.
These two. So it's been in the works behind the scenes for at least 7 weeks.
Okay.
So it's going to be interesting that once the players get more information on how long this has been transpiring, how long they let them go out there and wave the flag.
Oh my gosh.
Turning down money and things of that nature.
Yeah, that's where I'm going. So
oh man.